Hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, let me just get the cards ready. I'm going to be doing a reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Also for your cross watchers. Also for those of us who find ourselves on this channel. Not having any Pisces in anything, you're probably an empath and you're probably needing messages from your soul. Let's get started. So I asked what this reading was going to be about, and what I got was how deep does it go? And I'm not too sure what's being referenced, but we definitely gonna find out. We're gonna find out. How deep does what go? That's what I kept saying. How deep does what go? Got no answer, but we're gonna get the answer here. What are we talking about? So it's just one of those mornings. One of those mornings. Let me just shuffle again because. No, I don't want your number. No, I don't want to give you mine. Scrub is a guy that thinks he's fine, but it's also known as a buster. Okay, so clearance. We got to clear away all the old stuff. Okay. We just do. We got to clear away all the old stuff, the stuff that sticks to your feet and makes it feel uncomfortable to walk. That needs to be cleared away. Whatever little crumbs of things that you've been through that have caused you to become a lesser version of yourself, that needs to be cleared out. That includes memories of uh, events and relationships that disappointed you. Now, we're not trying to forget it. We're trying to clear away the crumbs. Okay. It's okay for those memories to sit nicely on a shelf and, not be dragged around your spiritual house. That's fine. That's fine. But we want to pick everything up off the floor. This is so weird. So, spring. There's some stuff that's going to be happening, and it's going to start around this period, and it's going to carry through until springtime. At which point you're probably going to find it extremely difficult to continue existing without that spring cleaning going on. Okay. We need to do some spring cleaning. Maybe there are people in your life right now that just need to be cleared out. Relationships, friendships, whatever it is. Maybe there's some sort of work stuff that needs to be cleared out. Who knows? Karmic stuff. This is going to go all the way through till about, I want to say, February-ish, March time. That's when you're going to really just be done. I don't know with what, though. I don't know with what. I don't know if it's like be done with your denial or be done with a relationship, be done with avoidance. We don't really know. We don't really know. So we're going to have to just keep going. We're going to have to keep doing the read. Lack of boundaries. For some of us, our lack of boundaries allows everything in. For others of us, our lack of boundaries causes us to overreact and push everyone and everything away before they could ever even get in. Both ways are too extreme. You have to allow yourself to live in this center point where you can allow things in, but also not allow in the BS. Okay. It doesn't have to be allow everything in or allow nothing in. You could definitely rise above that and allow more things into your life that are like benign, and not allow things into your life that are like toxic. One thing I notice about Pisceans and empaths, being one of y'all, um, Why do we have no problem letting toxicity into our life, like toxic people who need help? But then, like, the good things, we just, like, no, like, "Oh my god, this is so weird. Why do they what do they want?" And, that kind of logic has really, really negatively impacted many of us for a very long time. It's, like, really, really impacted you. If that's something that you've been doing, like, really ask yourself, "Has it benefited me, or have I just become, much more, like, afraid of connections?" Because for many of us, it's caused us to become even more afraid of connecting with others. Now, we don't have to connect with everyone, okay? We don't have to connect with everyone, but we also don't have to push everyone away and test people to see who will climb over walls. Sometimes the really good ones will see you building a wall and they'll respect that. They won't try and jump over the wall. They won't try and climb over. They'll respect that. They'll respect your boundaries. And what'll end up happening is you'll end up passing up on something that could potentially be a really good thing. It could potentially be like the bestest thing you could have ever experienced. This is about making conscious decisions using your discernment. And if you're not willing to use your discernment, how are you going to guide yourself? You have to stop placing all the burden of decision making on guardians, guides, aliens, angels, like all sorts of other things except yourself. It's time to start making decisions because you decided it. Not because of a pendulum, not because of a reading, not because of the signs, no, just decide something. Decide something and then see how it plays out. You can't avoid every experience in life, and sometimes in that attempt to avoid, uh, becomes a very thing that causes you to hurt for a very long time, like a very long time. So, magic, allowing yourself to return back to this place of magic. Oh, oh, she's magic. She knows. But do you know? Do you know how magical you are? Or do you kind of just like, you kind of do, but then you kind of are like, I don't know. Okay. You've been stuck in this place of lack of creativity, lack of creation. It's this thing, you guys. You have the ability to manifest so many different things. During this period, that manifestation can take place almost instantly. Oftentimes the manifestations that we create, um, they come to us within 24 hours. We're not noticing. These are not coincidences. I absolutely do not believe in coincidences. We are creating opportunities, whether they're positive, whether they're negative. We are the ones creating these opportunities. And if you're not consciously choosing what you're creating for yourself, that's a decision you've made. That's a decision you've made. When you continue to think that you can choose bad things, and then you can override it. I chose something bad yesterday. I chose something so bad yesterday. I had sugar knowing I shouldn't, because I was already feeling sick the day before. So I had something super sugary, and then, I figured, well, if I just drink enough water, it'll dilute it and it won't be a big deal. Emmy, you stupid child. I was messed up last night, all night. I was really, really messed up. I'm still messed up today, and that's a choice I made. That's a choice I made. I totally was like, I know how to suppress pain receptors. I know how to affect bodily function. Bitch, you did us dirty last night, bitch. It's messed up. I was in so much pain. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. That's what I get. I did that to myself. How many of you do this type of thing to yourself? Well, this is the last time. This one more time, one more chance, one more this, one more that. I'll just wait another week. I'll just wait another month. Oh, this excuse and that excuse. And it's not that you're a bad person. It's that it's time for you to recognize you're doing it to yourself. You know, you're doing it to yourself. So if you have the power to do that to yourself, to choose and create the suffering that you live through, I mean, don't you have the power to choose differently? Right? You do. Because if you're going to sit there and like, oh, I don't know, you do. You're really, really good at manifesting just the crappy stuff for yourself. Please, fuck out of here. You don't have bad luck. You keep choosing bad things. It's not bad luck. When you continue to choose to hang around people who are, toxic, that's a choice. That's a choice. Yeah. Uh, Let me see. Yeah. We don't want to realize things. I'm adding myself to that group. We don't want to realize things. And, I get it. I really, really do. I'm part of the group. I'm part of the group. I'm one of y'all. I don't know. Sometimes we just want things that we know we can't have. And sometimes we want it simply because we can't have it. Have you ever asked yourself why you can't have it though? When it comes to a person, because I'm over here talking about food, because that's all I think about is food. All I think about is food. Y'all think I'm talking about people. I'm talking about food. Okay, for people, why do you want that person? You're here because there's a person, right? You're hoping that I talk about a person and this person and person and then the person and then the person and person and person. Why? Why do you want to know about this person? What are they to you? Emmy, like stop playing games. They're my twin, do I? Do you? How certain are you? Why are you so certain? These are important questions to ask yourself. The person that I suspect is my counterpart. Like I suspect it. And it's been quite a few years. Um and I've really tried over the past like this whole time I've been like that's a demon, right? It's messed up to say. This whole time I've been like that was totally a demon, right? That was a mimic. That's not the real one. That was a demon, right? Mikey, show me proof that was a demon. He's laughing. Mikey's laughing. And that's just my process. Like, I don't know until I actually know. Do I know? I mean, after like however many years, like, I guess I suspect. I guess I suspect. I mean, I don't know until someone else comes forward and like really I'm fully convinced, then I guess I will just keep suspecting. But Emmy, no, no buts. We don't actually know. We don't actually know how people fit into our life. And when you continue to covet something just because you can't have it, I mean, what does that do to you? What kind of pain do you put yourself through? How deep does this go? How deep does this go? I guess it goes very deep for some, you know? And no one really gets to shame you for how deep it goes, but you have to recognize for yourself, like, what's causing you to hold on to this? What is it about, this person or that person? and all of these different answers that you're needing. Why are you not seeking the answers? Why are you holding on to the same story, right? It's not a secret. It's not a secret. Whatever it is, it's just, you know, it's not a secret. Invocation in reverse. You're not calling in the things that you need to call in. Yeah, I don't think many people know what they're coveting either. I think they're coveting um, a concept that's kind of just like based on this romanticized idea because we watch too many movies. You know what I mean? We watch too many movies and we allow too many stories to tell us who we should be, what is our definition of success, how love should be experienced. And yeah. So you guys kind of have some idea of the type of relationship I'm in. I'm very private about my actual relationship, but you guys have seen some of the interactions between my husband and I, right? Would you say that it's a loving relationship? Like, would you say like relationship goals? Would you say it's healthy? It empowers me. That you would want to have that type of love with someone because I mean, it's good. It's a good type of love. It's a really, really good type of love. It's one that really, really empowers me and makes me feel like very safe within myself, very safe when I'm with him. Um, just accepted just as I am, where I don't have to change. I don't have to do anything. I feel very catered to. I feel I feel very understood, even if he doesn't understand. You know what I mean? None of it matters. None of the details matter. Like he's just gonna be there with me no matter what through everything. Um, he never gets me flowers. Yeah, I want a guy that gets me flowers. My husband never buys me flowers. Yeah, if he gets me a gift, it's usually not wrapped. There's usually not surprises or anything like that. Like I don't need that. See, that's the thing. He sees what I need, and that's how he chooses to love me. He doesn't do it based off like a movie. Do you see that? He buys me plants, and I get to pick them. Yeah. Like, he used to try and, like, even early on in our relationship, it's like, "I don't like that. I don't like, don't do that. I don't like that. Don't try and court me the way you would any other girl. Like, I don't like that. Don't try and impress me with fancy dinners and like I don't like that." The first time we went out, this fool threw me for a total loop because he literally came to pick me up the day after, like the day he saw me at work. I was working and he picked up on me and he was just so cocky that it totally, like, I'm like, "What is up with this guy? Who are you? That you're so cocky." And I uh, there's an if they approach. All right. There is a number that I used people who would try and, pick up on me if I'm working, and he he kind of approached me in a different way than other people would, and so I didn't think about it. He actually got my actual phone number, and then I figured he wouldn't message for a while, right? And then I could totally just play it off like, "No, I don't you." Oh, no. He he texted me, like, about 30, 40 minutes after, because I guess they left the mall as soon as he did that, and then he's like, "Let's hang out tonight." I was like, "Ew, he's actually calling. This is crazy." That confidence was very intriguing because if I'm in work mode, most men are intimidated by me. Most men who meet me when I'm working, no. Yeah, no, don't even joke around with me. Like, I'm not gonna be, bitchy to you, but there's this clear boundary. Like, nope, I'm working. Sorry, that's inappropriate. Bye. You know? And what threw me for a loop was like, usually if a guy is first, trying to like your first date, he's gonna take you to dinner or something, right? Or like a movie or whatever. You know, this fool picked me up. He picked me up like an hour after I got off of work and he took me to meet all of his friends. All like, I don't know, 50 of them. He took me to his friend's house and he's like totally Mr. Popularity. And and they all like came to the car and I was just like, "Oh." And then he goes, "I'll be right back." "Oh, you're just gonna leave me with all these people?" Yeah. Mhm. I'm not sure what he told them before we arrived, but it was like, "Oh, so you're the girl." It's like, "What? What do you guys mean? What do you mean? Like, what's going on here?" I don't do social situations like that. And that was a very real thing. Like, I assume I assume it was this thing of this is who he is and he needs me to see who he is right from the start. Like, yeah, and that's cool. That's cool. There was no trying to pretend anything. There just wasn't. There was no trying to pretend anything, no trying to impress me, no trying to, like, do any movie stuff, where like, y'all, Pisces and empaths, we are just so accustomed to romanticizing this story that's just not true. It's just not true. Those stories are made up. And if what you're going to continue to seek out in other people are lies, because that's what made up stories are, right? What's the definition of a lie? A story that's made up. It's not based in truth or fact or reality. Then you're always going to find a liar. And then you wonder why they lie to you. There's this girl on TikTok who, um, I don't know her screen name, but she always talks so intelligently about the deceptiveness, like how, men, and I don't necessarily agree that it's just men, but I love what she has to say, how like, you know, you ask us to accept you for who you are, but you never really showed us who that was. And then you tell us that we're trying to change you into something, and it's like, all we're doing is trying to get you to go back to the person that you showed us in the beginning that we fell in love with that you weren't really. And that's the thing, I've always just seen Frey as he is. There's never been any of that facade stuff. There just isn't. Like, he told me straight up because he had just finished, um getting whatever degree he got, computer stuff, and he wasn't working at the time, and he told me that straight up. I'm like, "But I don't want you to buy me things. Like, it doesn't matter if you're not working. I don't want you to buy me things. I don't even want you to pay for my food." I'm serious. I didn't even want him buying my food. Like, if we go out, like, I'm good. I'm working. I don't no, thank you. And I know that's a trauma response. But here's the thing. He allowed me to be who I am. And given enough time, he began getting me gifts and stuff. And I began being okay with it. It started with, because I had moved. I had moved out of my parents' house for the first time. And I think I was like 19 or something. And he would come every weekend and he would, because well, I'm working, he would go with my cousin who was my roommate and they would go groceries together. And I would just come home to groceries. And I'm just like, this is so weird. Stop buying shit. Why does he keep buying shit? Like, what's going on? And it was never any like, um trying to impress me or anything. It was just a genuine want to help, a genuine want to like, oh, was I 20? I was 20. I was 20. So, yeah, there was a genuine desire to help, and that was it. There was no storyline, there was no none of that. And if we can just kind of get past whatever bullshit the movies are telling us we should have, and that's what makes it perfect, you could actually have something real, like real, like something that can last long term, not this memory of a potentiality that you don't even know if it was based in reality. Okay. Ooh, you're not going to stop. Death in reverse. You're not going to stop. That's fine. Yes, sir. Hi. He goes, this guy. Oh, yeah. Whoever this is for you, they're not coming back either. If you have this storyline of, they're gonna come back. If I just wait long enough, they're gonna come back. They're gonna come back. Um, I don't know that they're coming back. We do have a lot of people who are like, I don't want my ex back. Okay. Okay. Well, if you're still that upset about it, are you sure? Are you sure? Because I have ex-boyfriends and it's just like, yeah, no, they're not part of my life. They're just not part of my life. Well, what if they came back? Well, I'd be like, "What's up? Why are you here? Why are you here? Is something wrong? Can I help you with something? What's up?" Like, but I mean, wouldn't you? No, I would just legit ask them, like, "Can Frey and I help you with something? Like, you're going through something in life? What's going on? Why are you here? Why are you reaching out?" There's not really any anger there. Those relationships are done. They've been done. If they weren't done, I probably would still have extremely high emotions. He is older than me. He is older than me. Don't say by how many years, Frey. And yes, they did. His friends conducted their interviews. And I forgot which one. I forgot which one. And mind you, this was in the middle of the street. They didn't even let me get to the house. So I kind of retreated back to the car. Yeah. So I'm like leaning on the car and then, like, Lord, back up. Um and then one was leaning in asking like, can you take a step back? Can you like, and they're like, oh yeah, no. Like, take a couple of steps back. You can keep asking questions, but just take a few steps back. Like, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, no. You're too close. I can hear your breath. So until you let this go, you're not going to move forward. You're not going to prosper in your life. How can you? How can you when you've shackled yourself to this place of, like, suffering? If you shackle yourself to the memory, you shackle yourself to the pain. It's a place of suffering, and you've moved in permanently, not even temporarily. You moved in, so then move out. You have multiple houses that exist within your auric field, within your heart, within your mind. Move to a different house. It's not don't tell me you don't got a budget for that. Maybe in real life you don't have a budget to move. That's very common, but to move to a different emotional house, you live there rent free. What are you talking about? And no, you don't have to pack up all your bags from that house of toxicity and move all the furniture into the new house. What is the point of recreating that in a new house? And that's what we do when we seek someone else out in other people. That's what we're doing. So we kind of touched on this in the Empty Cup Radar podcast, the most recent one from this past Tuesday. I was talking with Chidi about twin flames. And, he had brought up how, like, he's kind of his concern is that he'll eventually find someone else and start a new relationship. And how will that play out? Will he be able to give that person their all? And they're different people. I guess I understand it completely because I'm a mother of multiple children. If you're a mother of multiple children, your heart is capable of loving so deeply at a depth you didn't think you could do for more than one person. For each of my children, as I prepared to give birth, it was this thing of like, I love my other kids like so much. Like, it's almost like I have an entirely new heart for each child that I birth. And it's like, what if I can't love this next child as deeply as I love all the old ones? I said, girlfriend, you birth a brand new heart for each child. You love them with your whole heart. Some people might be like, well, if you're going to love them with your whole heart, then they have a whole heart. Then you can't else like that. Ask a friend completely. Hate what you thought you had with someone else. Eh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. That's why like, I've invested so much in my husband and what we have together. I've invested my entire growth into this. And should I be at a point where I find myself not married, not with him? I have zero desire to invest in another person like that. Like, I already know the depth of that. That's fine. I don't want to recreate it with someone else. I just don't. And some people are like, "Oh my god, girl, like what if you guys break up and you're still young? You're still young." Yeah, and I have zero desire to invest in someone else in that way. Like, I just don't. I mean, yeah, like that's the honest truth. I don't need to try and recreate anything that I have with my husband with anyone else. That is a story all on its own. And when that story ends, it's done. There's no prequel, there's no um, sequel, there's no none of that. The story is done. Do you know every time they create a sequel, the sequel sucks? Tell me a movie where the sequel was just as good as the original. And you can't name Star Wars because that was part of a pre-planned trilogy. A pre-planned trilogy. So tell me. Hmm? Hmm? You can't tell me Lord of the Rings because that was also pre-planned. You can't tell me Matrix, that was pre-planned. None. None. Sequels will always live in the shadow of the original. Is that what you want? You wanna live in shadow? Aren't you scared of the dark, though? Because see, when you dive deep into your shadow aspects, you'll begin to uncover these things that you're needing to see about yourself. The original always wins. Yes, it's always the original. That's all I had to think about when people were telling me, like, "Oh my god, what? You're gonna stay with your husband?" What? Oh my god. 'Cause they years ago, they were asking me like, "Do you know who your twin is?" Before this subject became, like, popular. I'm like, "I think I have actually come across, my twin ray. Why?" "Oh my god, are you in the process of, like are you guys gonna be together?" "What do you mean?" "What do you mean?" Like, is your husband mad? Why would he be mad?" "Well, I mean, like, that must suck knowing what? What the hell are you talking about?" "Well, I'm just saying, like, you and your twin are gonna be together." "According to whom?" "I'm pretty sure that dude hates me right now." I'm pretty sure of it. I'm pretty sure he's not like me right now. "Oh, no, you just need to message and, like, you guys will be together." "You mean like best friends or what are you talking about here?" Yeah. No. 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 Y'all are tripping. That's what it is. Y'all are tripping, trying to tell me who I should be with. Uh-uh. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Nope. Nope. No. No one gets to tell you. No one gets to tell you how to love, how long to love, who to love. No, none of that. And when you begin getting into this conversation with yourself, you'll begin to understand a lot of what you believe was actually from other people telling you what to believe. Because someone told you this is the cool thing. Someone told you, like, if you want to be cool, all the cool kids doing it. Another thing that I really, really loved about my husband, when we were first dating, and again, mind you, he has like a ton of friends, right? He has a ton of friends. So, everyone's doing ecstasy. Everyone's doing ecstasy. That was a period where that was just like, that's what you do. That's what you do. You go and put your bead bracelets on, you get your mask with some Vicks, you go to a rave, and you do some Not us. Not us. Not us. He just did his own thing. He always just does his own thing. And it's a beautiful thing to be with a person who really can't be pressured into things by other people. Some people talk shit about Geminis because he's a Gemini, right? Some people talk shit about Geminis because they're like, "Oh, they so two-faced, they are secretive, and, like, they just, like, they tell you what you wanna hear to your face." Why are you trying to force them to do shit? I mean, yeah, I kinda like that about him. Yeah, like, he's just gonna do whatever he's gonna do. and no one's really gonna tell him what to do. And the best part about that, he's not necessarily confrontational about that shit. He's just gonna be like, "Yeah, he sure." He'll say, "Sure." So, I mean, I've gotten to where it's like, is it really sure, like, yes, or like Gemini sure? Like, yes, yes, or Gemini yes, because I need to know if I need to do this shit on my own. But, it's just one of those things. Do you want what's cool or do you want what's real? Do you want what's cool or do you want what's real? Because right now the twin flame thing is cool. In the 80s, it was soulmates. Yeah. It's going to take probably another 2, 3 years, maybe even 4 years. Mark my words. It's going to take another 2, 3 years before people who are so like hell bent on twin flame stuff are like, oh no, that's just my flame. I've found my ray now, my twin ray. Okay. Okay. So now you're upgrading from the twin ray, twin flame to the twin ray. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, that's cool. Sure. Okay. Yep. Upside down all the way through summer. I think you're going to hit this like intense point beginning of next year, maybe around end of February, beginning of March. Things are going to dip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. Put your hand upon my hip. When I dip, we dip, you dip. Uh-huh. You know the reality of what's going on. You know the reality of what you've been believing in. I mean, you know, Michael says, ah! Sorry. Michael says, don't look through the deck. And I'm like, I'm looking through the deck. I'm looking through the deck. I won't reshuffle, but just let me look through the deck. I shouldn't have looked through the deck. Anyways, card number 21, Beyond the Mind, the Heart Beats. So look for people who exist beyond the mind. Okay. People are often like, oh, I can't stop thinking about you. I can't stop thinking about you. I can't stop thinking about you. And that's how I know it's you. No, that's how you know you have a mental obsession with someone. That's what that's indicative of. I know. Damn it. Just pop my third eye one. Let me just card number 3, inspiration. Allowing yourself to be inspired by the events that you've already lived through. Okay. Just allow, just flow. Allow yourself to be present as you live through things. It's okay for you to look over events that you've already finished. But if you allow yourself to live there too long, I mean, don't get stuck there. Okay. Don't get stuck there. Oh, y'all. That's a blanket statement. That's a blanket statement about Geminis. Now, Imma tell you right now, tread carefully. I don't let people talk shit about my husband, not even through blanket statements. Tread fucking carefully here. Pisces might be in the title, but I'm a Gemini lover. I'll fucking go to war for them. That's your only warning. Gemini don't vibe with people like that who fucking need shit and demand shit from them. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. You're fucking out. You're out. Enjoy your silence. You're out. You're out. This is not the place for your generalized hate. This is not the place for it. You lucky I'm in control of my emotions this morning. I'll rip you a new fucking asshole. You're so backed up with your own bullshit. I'll do you a favor, rip you a new fucking asshole, but I'm in control of my emotions today. So let me just end that with fuck you. Anyways, trust yourself. It's in reverse. It's in reverse. So you're not trusting yourself. You're not allowing yourself to really, really see at the end of the day, all the decisions, they came from you, including the lack of action. You know, when you lack the action to neutralize whatever it is, then you know that's a decision that you made. I'm not down with people talking shit about nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not down with that shit. I'm not down with that shit. You know, that whole statement of they backstab. I stab you from the front with my words. How about that? How about that? Stab you from the front. Mhm. Hey, you know what? That's the kind of wife I am. You don't ever, not even by generalization, don't ever talk shit about my fucking beloved. Ever. Ever. You wanna see a gangster come out? Baby, I'm a gangster too, and it takes two to tango. Okay. Card number 14, going beyond normal. You have to go beyond your traumas. You have to go beyond. Pisces and empaths have this way of really, really stuffing that trauma deep. You have to go beyond the trauma. And if that's how deep it has to go even deeper for you to be able to go past it. Now, we're not trying to get past things to ignore it. We're not pretending that trauma doesn't exist. But it's a lot easier to get behind the traumas to push it out, kind of like popping a zit. You know what I'm saying? You don't pop a zit from the surface. You got to get kind of beneath it and apply pressure downward and inwards. You don't just go like this, you're traumatizing the skin. If you go downwards and inwards, you pop it out. Okay. Fate comes in all shapes, sizes, and signs. You can't label every Gemini as two-faced or bad. I've met good and not so good in every sign. All the people who have tried to fuck with me are Pisces. Pisces. Please fuck out of here with that shit. Yeah, I'm saying, why don't you get the fuck out? Anyways, in the world, not of the world. Pisceans and empaths, you are in this world, not of this world. You cannot expect your heart to come out of other people. And even if they share a similar heart to yours, they have different types of experiences that give them different perception from you. They express their love in a different way. Okay? Like, my husband doesn't get me flowers. I don't want flowers. Like, I don't that shit's gonna die. Why would I want something that's gonna die? So he gets me plants. And here's the thing, I know he likes romantic stuff like that. So back when he was working, because he was the breadwinner for, I would say, like 70, 80, maybe even 90% of our relationship. He's been the breadwinner. And so during certain times, certain holidays or whatever, um, I would just surprise him. All his coworkers knew, like, your wife's gonna come and just spoil the shit out of you, huh? I would make him a whole bunch of stuff, like, get things together. And then I would get balloons and 2 dozen roses and make this gorgeous, gorgeous vase arrangement. And then I wouldn't give it to him. I would make sure to go to the front and give it to the receptionist so that he could walk it through the whole company back to his desk so everybody knows. Mhm. He likes that kind of stuff. So I used to do that kind of stuff. Love people in the way that they need, but not everyone's able to do that. Sometimes we have to just accept the way people love us as that's how they show love. He shows love by basically cooking all of my meals. I'd say that's an amazing way to love. Some people might be like, "Oh my god, girl, you need to be more independent." I am. That's not a sign of my weakness. That's a show of me working on my own internal toxicity and trauma that caused me to be hyper independent. Allowing him to cook my meals and care for me the way he does is my therapy. We all different. We all different. When you are so accustomed to being hyper independent because everyone has failed you or abandoned you at some point, it takes a very powerful person to trust someone to the degree that you can cook my meals. I'm not worried you're gonna and I don't know if it's because I grew up with all brothers. Like, I'm not worried that you're gonna drop my food on the floor and put it back on a plate. Like, I know he has helped me so much through all the depths of my traumas and insecurities because I leave my toothbrush accessible to everyone. Did that tell you something? I leave my toothbrush. I don't hide my toothbrush anymore. Y'all, wrap your mind around that. I don't hide my toothbrush anymore. Yep. I no longer make the bed so that I know if someone's been in my bed. Crazy, right? I no longer have to face everything a certain way so that I know if someone's touched my stuff or not. People gonna put labels on you and tell you and dictate shit to you about you, not knowing your history, not knowing that their perception of you is so convoluted. What they think is your weakness is actually you working through your trauma. Bitch, I can do independent. I'm so fucking good at solo. And now I'm entering into this place within myself, my life, my journey, my healing. I recognize I don't have to do solo. I don't have to. Society teaches you a lot of bullshit. A lot of bullshit. Oh, you not a powerful blah, blah, blah unless you blah, blah, blah. No, bitch. How about shut the fuck up? How about no? I've seen so many videos of feminists telling other women that you're part of the problem if all you want to be is just a stay-at-home mom. If you only want to be just a homemaker. Part of what problem? The problem you're continuing to water that toxic plant? Feminism is about helping other women empower themselves and supporting them in their right to decide for themselves, their life, their environment, helping them to decide, helping them to realize they have the power to decide. It's not about telling me I'm less of a woman just because I don't decide the same thing as you. Last I checked, we both own vaginas. That means I'm no less than you, regardless of what I choose to do with mine. I had a feminist tell me on my post I think it was a couple years back, that I needed to take my post down because I was talking about how, I choose to be monogamous, that I've been in a long-term monogamous relationship, and she felt I was slut shaming. What the fuck are you talking about? Because I'm saying that I'm monogamous and, like, I'm stating, it's none of my business what you choose to do, but use discernment before you choose to allow someone to access your most sacred spaces. There's nothing about you can only be with one person or anything like that. Just like the post was about allowing entry into your sacred space and how energies are mixed. You can mix your energy with whoever you want, but bitch, don't be telling me I'm slut shaming because I'm monogamous. Like, I'm not shaming no one. You can have as many partners as you want. Just make sure those partners are quality partners. Quality partners, not organic portals serving as Trojans, infecting you from the inside out. Not just with sexually transmitted diseases, but also spiritually transmitted diseases. Mhm. Yeah. People will have all their opinions of how you should live, and if you let that go deep enough, it ends up taking root and becoming part of your belief structures, your belief system. Oh my god. I saw Michael says don't talk about that. Baby, I'm a gangster too, and it takes two to tango. Let me just stop with it, stop with it. What is already with you? You're definitely being with yourself at this point. For those that are needing to hear this, you need to get right with yourself, you know? Make decisions for yourself, really allow yourself to, have a solid idea of what you need to work on within yourself because you deserve a better life. You deserve more peace, not because you're broken. What you need to work on in your environment because you deserve to have external peace to match your internal peace that you're working on. Um, really allow yourself the time and the space to assess which wounds continue to be festering, continue to get triggered by other people's behaviors. Part of the video that I was going to talk about, um, it was like, I don't know if it was like some congressional thing or whatever, but like it was just crazy. It was crazy. Someone came onto the mic and was like, personal point of privilege. I'm going to need everyone to please stop talking quietly amongst yourselves. And like, it's making it very difficult for me to focus and to process what's going on and what's being spoken about. I'm going to need you guys to quit whispering to each other. And then another person very passionately took over the mic and was like, personal point of privilege. You have to stop using gender-based pronouns. Like, did y'all even start talking about what this meeting is supposed to be about? Or do we still need time for people to keep complaining about the existence of others? My issues are not for you to solve. My issues are not for you to tiptoe around. My issues are for me to address, correct. Yeah, the what? Personal point of privilege. Y'all need to quit whispering amongst yourselves. was like, "Wait, what's happening? What is this?" I literally had to watch it like 5 or 6 times. Like 5 or 6 times. Um, it's just too much. It's too much. In reverse. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Card number 13. Power of attraction in reverse. You are not attracting the proper things to you. Sorry, that so tickled me. Okay. You're not attracting the right things to you because you're still dealing with perceptions that are distorted, either from previous traumas or from current situations, from too many people in your head about all sorts of stuff. We have to stop giving so much weight and credibility to the words of others when they haven't shown us that they are capable of implementing their advice into their own lives. You ever notice it's always the shitty parent that has the most parenting advice? Like, your kid acts the fuck up all the fucking time. Who are you to be giving advice to other parents? You ever notice it's always the shittiest person with the shittiest fucking track record giving you relationship advice? Like, bitch, but you single. You single. It's always a person who has been divorced so many times giving marriage advice. Like, what? What? You want advice? Are you kidding me? Sometimes I get petty, right? I've been known to be like, "Oh, act like you think you're cuter than you actually are." Uh, "Oh, oh, you think you cute, huh? Well, you acting like you think you're much cuter than you actually look. Ain't shit." Just saying. Not petty. It's not the truth freezing the screen, it's me being petty. Can call myself out, and I was being petty. I'm known to tell where I'm like, "Oh, you think you acting like you're cuter than you actually are. That's sad." Let's not let other people who have the most toxicity in whatever field they are giving advice in to affect the way we actually see ourselves. And it's not that you only have to see yourself in a positive way. And, don't lie to yourself. If you're not positive that day, then you're not positive that day. That's okay. You're not stuck sauce. You know what I'm saying? Like when the ketchup is stuck in the glass bottle, and no matter how hard you try, the ketchup won't come out. You're not that ketchup. You are not that ketchup. You know what keeps the ketchup from coming? All that trapped air. That trapped air represents all of the people that you listen to. You don't even need to listen to me. I mean, just come around for the entertainment. Come around for the entertainment factor. Okay, we can laugh together. You don't have to take my life advice or anything like that. As a matter of fact, it's not even advice. I'm just sharing thoughts. I'm thinking out loud. Stop letting other people get so deep into your mind and your process that they affect everything. Why? Why? Why bother? Why bother with that? These are people who are not interested in helping you. They're interested in what they can gain for their ego based on what they tell you and how you receive it. It's up to you. Do you want to live in such a way where you don't know who you are? And if you don't know who you are, how are you going to be able to find your twin flame, twin ray, and be like, well, because they're just like me, but you don't know who you are? And see where the problem is? We're looking for our other half, yet we don't know the half that we have. So if you identify in a way that's toxic to you, that is not representative of your actual truth, you will look for that toxic reflection in someone else. And then you wonder, like, why can't I find my twin? Well, are you hiding from yourself? Then you're not going to find that twin outside of yourself. And on top of that, not everyone's going to be coming across their twin in this lifetime. That is a lie. It's a lie. That was a lie that was spread to trap you into very toxic interactions. More often than not, people will allow someone they have identified as their twin to treat them much more poorly and be much more horrible than someone who doesn't have that label. Your twin is physically aggressive with you, pins you down, covers your mouth. Well, they're just working through their traumas and I'm triggering them to work on their shadow. No, honey. No. That is ABUSE. That is not, no. Whatever you're trying, no, I don't even want to hear it. No. Nope. Well, but could you check them for a parasite? No. No. But I think they have a parasite. Listen, guys, please hear this. Please hear this with both your ears, your heart, and your third eye. Parasites cannot create characteristics that are not already present. They can only exacerbate what is already there. If you do not have any type of violence in you, they cannot make you violent. They cannot. If you don't have the capacity to be verbally aggressive, they cannot suddenly make you verbally aggressive. It has to already exist within you. That's why I say get to know yourself. What are you capable of? I am peaceful AF. I'm capable of extreme violence. What does that mean? Well, if I'm capable of extreme violence physically, emotionally, verbally, energetically, I can never allow myself to get breached. If I know I can breach anyone's shield, zero effort. I don't need your permission. I just ask for it out of consideration. What would happen if I got breached? Not good things. Not good things. When you get to know yourself, you get to understand the different paths and options that are presented to you. You begin to understand what is most appropriate for you. Amen to that. Queen of Hearts, I don't care what their title is, not allowing anyone to treat me poorly. The way I see it, if you are actually like a twin of mine, then you should know I am highly sensitive. Don't ever act out of place with me. Don't ever. Don't ever act out of place with me. Communicate. Let me know if I'm doing something to upset you. Give me time to process that I've upset you because that will devastate me. No, you don't get free passes. The only reason you'd be put on a pedestal is so I can better observe your actions, so I can better see what's your intention with me. What is your intention? What are you trying to do? Are you really here for good reasons? That's called reactive ABUSE. When they continuously try and provoke you in order to get you to react wildly, that's reactive ABUSE. That's a narcissistic tactic. It is. It's a narcissistic tactic. You don't have faith in your process anymore. That's okay. Do you need faith? You don't need faith in your process. What you actually truly need is to allow yourself to learn and grow so that that faith that you don't have, the disappearance of that faith can create room for your gnosis, the return of your knowing. You'll get through everything in your life. You will get through everything in your life. But Emmie, it's been 4 years. Okay, so get out of your own way. But she didn't let me finish. I don't need to let you finish. 4 years of get out of your own way. That's it. That's it. But I try so hard and nothing ever, because you block your own way. Many Pisceans and empaths will bring that manifestation to the point where it's tangible. You could feel it. It's nearby. It's almost there. And right before it arrives, oh, I just can't. Okay. Well, there you go. There you go. You blocked it. I once went through a QHHT therapy session. It was my very first session. And a really good friend of mine who's known me before the Emmie thing. She's known me for some time, and she offered to do this with me. And I was like, "Okay." I was like, "I'm kind of worried. Like, what if, you can't put me under? I've never done hypnosis or anything like that." And she said, that it'll be fine. You don't have to talk about anything you don't wanna talk about. And, she said that my higher self, will be the one to decide, and that she knows I have issues with control, which I do. I do. And that I can still stand in the doorway, just kind of move my hip to the side a little bit, like slightly turn. So there's a little bit of space for information to flow through. That it's okay. It's okay for me to have those fears and be worried about what information will come forward. And it's so sweet of her. She's so amazing. And then you know what happened? Because it was time for me to finally process all of these things, that came up during the session. You know what happened, like, towards the beginning of the session? I started to freak out a little bit because I realized that, "Oh, shit, I'm actually under. I'm actually in my subconscious." And then so my higher self showed me this, like, gorgeous treasure box, and I think they're called dorjies or whatever. They're like they look like a rattle, and they're Tibetan, and it was something like that inside this treasure box, and it was very jewel encrusted and so sparkly, and I was like, "Ooh, what's that?" And then my higher said so it said, "Touch it," and as soon as I went to touch it, that fucking bitch grabbed me by the head, shoved me in the box, and locked it. My higher self shoved me in a fucking box. And then proceeded to tell my friend, and it's all being recorded. We've neutralized her. We've confined her. Um, she was non-compliant. Yeah, and my friend's like, "Is she okay with this?" And when I woke up, I didn't remember much of what was talked about, and, she looked really scared. She's like, "I didn't do anything. I'm very, very sorry, but from the sounds of it, your higher self put you inside of a box. What do you remember?" And I was like, "I remember you starting with questions, and then something shiny was shown to me, and then I felt my head was grabbed," because it went like that in the video, "and then I was, like, in a box, but it looked like the universe." She goes, "Yeah, your higher self then just said to me, like, she's non-compliant." I was non-compliant. See, soul doesn't care. When it's time for the growth, when it's time for the process to begin, soul doesn't care if you're ready. Soul doesn't care if you think it's time. Soul does what soul does. Soul does what soul does. It doesn't need your permission. You're the child in that equation. So get out of your own way. Yeah, I was like not wanting my higher self to talk. I mean, I came up with a lot of really, really fascinating information that explained so much of the blockages that occurred, like there's a lot. It's a lot. It's still to this day, I haven't watched the replay. It's too much for me to process. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's one of the older, not oldest, one of the older lives that because it's always been a triangle. It's always been a love triangle, you know? And it helped me to better understand why I'm just like, "No. No, I'm staying with Frey this entire life." Yeah. So, get out of your own way, help yourself to understand things by no longer using other people's beer goggles. They're drunk on their own power. They've been sipping too much of that power sauce. Yeah. Stop wearing their beer goggles. Stop using their blind ass perception for your life. Yep. Yep. Anything that you listen to, this is not me telling you to only listen to me. That's obnoxious. I'm one person with one perception. That would be obnoxious to only listen to me. What I'm saying is, everything that you hear, you read, you watch, filter it through your perception. How does this apply to my life? And when it does apply, question how and why. Why? What is it? I can never just take what someone says at face value. You best believe I'm going to search that up. You wanna tell me about something? I'm not just gonna take it at face value. I need to search it up because it resonates, and I need to make sure. I need to make sure it's not resonating simply because you're dark and I'm drawn to dark things. Damn. It's a lot of truth that just came out, huh? Pisceans, you're drawn to dark things. Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm the same way, Moonrock. I'm the same way. I'm the same way. It's great when it's done, but while I'm in it, it's like a lot of things that are needing to be processed are coming forward, and it's difficult, and, all of these other things. It's okay, it's okay. See, you haven't been following your own rhythm. For those that this reading is for, you haven't been following your own rhythm. It's okay for you to be drawn to dark things. It's not okay to completely abandon your light, though. Stay in the middle. Stay in the middle. You can actually have both in that situation. You can have both your shadow and your light. You actually should have both. Card number 33, Heaven Sent. Everything that you live through, everyone that you come across, they are sent to you on purpose for a reason to help you learn things and experience things that they agreed to help you with in this lifetime. It can be a positive thing, it can be a negative thing. But every single person who is able to access you and connect with you was sent to you for a reason. Every journey starts with a single step. Yikes. This is going to be a harsh thing to hear. This is Michael saying it, okay? He says, before you can take a step, you have to first pick yourself up from the floor. You have to first pick yourself up from the floor. Laying in a crumpled heap on the floor can be okay for a short period. Sometimes we need to, in order to purge a large bulk of that pain. But that's not where you were supposed to stay. Okay? That's not where you were supposed to stay. Focus on the light in reverse. Focusing on dark things. We're focusing on dark things again. We really, really dark things. We like the dark things. I'm just kidding. We do. Tell me you're not. Tell me you're not drawn to the people in shadows. I'm not talking about demonic things, please. Shadow is not necessarily evil. Dark is not necessarily evil. And if you're so, like, trigger warning, if you're so small-minded that you can't grasp the dynamic ways in which we were created, like, that's not really my thing to correct. Dark things are not necessarily evil. Give me an example, Emmie. Your mother's womb. Your mother's womb. That's evil? That was your home before you got evicted. That was your home before you were born. That's evil? That's evil? Yeah? That's evil? That's obnoxious. That is literally obnoxious. Sometimes we are drawn to the darkest depths of someone's shadows because it's from there that we can hear them crying out for help. At the end of the day, all we really want to do is help. But when you don't process your own traumas, sometimes you'll confuse that desire to help with your desire to punish yourself. Do you need to punish yourself? I mean, if you feel the need, I don't know that I can convince you that you don't. I don't believe you need that. But if you feel the need and you punish yourself and you look for people to help you punish yourself, you can't later then be like, life is so unfair. I feel like I'm always being punished. No, that's what you're looking for. If you're cognitive of the things you look for, you'll begin to understand you're the only one in control right now. You're the only one in control. It's you. You're in control. Let's get you guys a card. Ooh, this gonna be good. This gonna be good. I'm just saying. Be ready. Card number 17. The human gift. Oh, heart, what is your excuse for all these blunders? Such loyalty is offered by the beloved, yet so much treason comes from you. Such kindness is offered by the beloved, yet so much defiance and resistance comes from you. Such grace is offered by the beloved, yet so much fault and failure comes from you. Such attraction is offered by the beloved with sweetness and generosity, yet such jealousy comes from you with so much doubt and suspicion. Do you bemoan your lack of faith? Do you berate yourself, blazing angel, because you have moments where you cannot bring yourself to trust and love? more than you trust in your fear? Do you lament and worry that you could or should be living in greater surrender? And yet, when is light more precious than when it arises from darkness? When is trust more admirable than when it involves an uncertain yet bold leap of faith? O human angel, your path is perfection in the divine sense, not in some artificial absence of struggle, but in the wrestling of darkness and light that ignites the fire within your holy heart. So rise up now from your doubts and admonishments and let your human self be loved. Even for all the doubt, you are still a cherished one of the great beloved and always shall be. Be kind to your heart. You may believe it to be weary from doubt and distrust, so much heartbreak and so many agonies, yet it still beats. Still it persists with unquestioning allegiance to life. What a grand heart it is, that sacred heart of yours. How can it be worthy of anything other than tenderness, gratitude, and acknowledgement? How can it not be worthy of appreciation? Do not plague your heart with falsehoods and expectations of some disembodied perfection. The perfection of your heart is that it loves still, even if you try to stop it with some notion of self protection from future hurt through fear or doubt. Still, it loves. It is perfection that it hopes even after despair, that it holds compassion even after experiences of fear. So then, what is there left to do but breathe the grandest sigh of relief and allow yourself the essential luxury of peace within? So then, everything is all right. Even if at some moments it seems not to be, still, your heart beats in honor of life. The heart can be nurtured and coaxed into gentle acceptance of all that is, and the divine sight shall become available to you. Yes, sacred sight is what's behind this oracle for you now. You're meant to be witnessing something important, something that will make the presence of the divine in your affairs more real to you. It will be something you can come to count on at all times, and in that gain greater peace and the realization that yes, it is safe to trust and surrender. Indeed, it's the only safe, sane, and sensible way to live. It is also the most fun way to live, and you are allowed to live this way if you so choose. It is not shirking your duty as a responsible adult. It's not deluding yourself and turning away from the real world. Rather, surrender is placing responsibility where it's best placed, firmly in the hands of that part of you wise enough to know the great beloved is wiser still, and that your life unfolds according to the great beloved's grace. So for now, take comfort in this oracle. Just for a moment, let your heart be honored and loved by you, and imagine that you can crack open a window in the dustiest chamber of your own heart temple to let the light of the divine stream in. You may see the angel reaching to assist you. You may receive the gift of understanding, insight, and revelation. You may feel at peace, or you may finally allow your heart to break once more, to shed those old grievances and be free and fresh to live and love again. Or you may quietly realize you're human. You are light and dark, of heaven and earth. What a perfect blend you are of all that can possibly be. You are an extraordinary living divine experiment in the making, and you are sacred, cherished, and loved by the great beloved. So do not fear your fear, but do doubt your doubt with compassion. Let it be and let it go. You are human after all, and your journey is beyond description. Just remember, if you are ever in need of the great beloved, there is a place where sacred tryst is always available to you. In the temple of your heart, with a window cracked open, so that doubt can fly out and love can breathe freely. This oracle comes with special guidance for you. You are, or soon will be, seeing with greater clarity and insight a situation that has been obscured to you in the past. You may be startled by what you perceive, so much so that you second guess yourself or chalk it up to wild imagination on your part. You're asked to trust in your perceptions that when they come from the heart, although what you perceive may be darkness, there will be no judgment in it. See what is truthfully there. Be in the compassionate nature of your heart, and you shall also be shown the most graceful way to become clear and free of darkness, either within yourself or within others in the world around you. Are you ready for clarity? Or do you avoid clarity because it's scary? Do you stand in your own way to protect yourself from some future potentiality that you know nothing about? You have to allow yourself to get out of your own way. Your truth is buried inside you. And when you don't allow that truth to rise up, truth doesn't go away. The truth still exists, but you begin to bury it under so much doubt and delusion that you forget it ever existed. So be your own treasure hunter. Dig through all the soils of all your gardens and find the things that you've left behind, the things that you've forgotten, the things that can benefit you so greatly if only you'd go looking for them. Life is not meant to be perfect, not in the way the word perfection is defined. You'll see in movies perfection is some storyline that really is not attainable or sustainable. You waste so much of your effort and your time recreating these false stories, stories that were intended to make you feel less than. But are you really less than? Feeling it and being it are two different things. They're just two different things. So what do we do now? First, we make sure that we understand emotional intelligence is different from intellectual intelligence. You might be highly intellectual. You might be highly capable of logical reasoning. It doesn't mean anything. So long as you continue to not process the emotional portion of whatever you've lived through, you will remain shackled there. You will not grow. You will not progress. Whatever progress you think you've made, it's based on a lie. It's based on a quasi-reality. It's a half-truth, which is essentially a lie. That's the equivalent of a house of cards. It will fail. And that failure, it's not necessarily a failure. It's an opportunity at reconstruction. When you have all of these buildings in a downtown city area, and you have a very tall building that's no longer usable, what do? Do you leave that there? It can no longer be maintained. It's not safe to occupy. Do you leave that there? The hospital that my children were born in, the hospital that my mom worked at, maybe a year or so ago, we decided to drive past it, and it was leveled. It's an empty lot. Almost cried seeing it. It's like it never existed. But why? Because transient people were going there and living there. And I think bad things were happening there. And so they had to tear it down because they moved the hospital to a new location, a campus much larger, more advanced technologies able to be installed. So the old building had to be taken down. How does this apply to your life and your journey? When the emotional buildings are no longer safe to occupy, if you leave them standing, you'll leave a house for transient energy to occupy. You wonder why parasitic things continue to infect your space? That's why. If you build a house, they will live in it. Who are they, though? All these words you take in from other people, the words that counteract your processes, your natural organic processes, they are more harmful than you realize. It does not matter if it's delivered with the most beautiful meditation music, accompanied by singing bowls and sad and soft, hushed whispers. I don't care if they use the proper terms, if they talk about galactic things, if they speak about morphogenetic things, Cathara, Kelantic science, quantum physics, universal physics. None of it matters. Allow yourself to receive what you need and then go about your merry way. Go figure out how to implement the information your soul has given you and then apply it to your life. Allow yourself to move forward, but leave no space for other things to occupy. So, it's the last thing I'm going to leave you guys with. I can't sit here and not share this because everything that I've shared in this video, it might leave the impression for some that I'm just very close-minded and I don't listen to what anyone else has to say. No, that is false. I listen to everyone. I let you tell me whatever it is you feel you need to tell me. And things that resonate, I then take it in and I ask myself, between myself and my soul, what does this mean? Why does this resonate? And then I allow my soul to better explain. Oh, it's triggering a recall of your memory. This is something from childhood. This is something from previous life. The person was your messenger. We did not tell them. We know you're private. We encourage them to speak freely with you so that you could receive your trigger. Push the button to open the door. Let the memory come back in. So no, you are not telling me my truth. You are delivering the button that I can choose to press to trigger myself to open the door and retrieve what is rightfully mine, my memories, my greatness, my energy, all of that. Same as for you guys. All I do is trigger you. No, I don't. I give you the button, I show you exactly where it is, and then I leave you to press it. It's up to you. You decide what you want to press. But do press that like button. Thank you guys so much for sharing this space with me. As always, it's always a beautiful, beautiful time spent with you guys every morning, chatting and kind of processing life, allowing the cards to guide my thoughts. No, I'm not a tarot reader. No, this is not a tarot channel. I am a highly sensitive empath, intuit, and Piscean. And these readings help me to process my thoughts in my life. And the cards simply keep my focus on whatever it needs to be focused on at that time. Lose your fear of the cards. You're not calling anything in. If you're calling things in to speak to you through cards, yeah, you should be afraid. Absolutely. You should be afraid. You should absolutely be afraid. Use the cards like me. Like I have raging ass ADHD. Yeah, I'm not invoking anything. I'm not invoking anything. I'm not working with anything. Sometimes Michael will chirp in because I don't want to I don't want to address certain cards and the thoughts that come up with those cards. That's okay. Seek information from yourself. Stop looking for other people to give you the answers that are already inside you. Okay? So, thumbs up for the video. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. I'll see you guys later. I might go live later today. Sorry, I did not feel good yesterday, so I ended up sleeping. I slept pretty much the whole afternoon, so I didn't do expedites. Maybe I can do expedites later today. We will see. So I love you guys. I'll see you again very soon. Bye, everyone.